Julius Nyerere was a man whose life and legacy continue to inspire generations of Africans and people around the world. He was a visionary leader, a passionate advocate for social justice, and a complex figure whose policies and decisions were often controversial and divisive. Born in 1922 in Butiama, Tanzania, Nyerere was the son of a local chief and was educated by Catholic missionaries. His upbringing instilled in him a strong sense of community and a commitment to serving his people, which would shape his political views and inspire him to dedicate his life to the fight for African independence. After studying at Makerere University in Uganda and the University of Edinburgh in Scotland, Nyerere returned to Tanzania in the 1950s and became involved in the Tanganyika African National Union, TANU, a political party dedicated to achieving independence from British colonial rule. Under Nyerere's leadership, TANU won a landslide victory in the 1960 elections, and Tanganyika became an independent nation later that year. Nyerere became the country's first prime minister and later its first president in 1962. As president, Nyerere implemented a policy of African socialism, which emphasized self-reliance and community development over capitalism and individualism. He also championed the idea of ujamaa, or familyhood, which called for Tanzanian citizens to work together in communal farming villages. Nyerere's policies helped to transform Tanzania into a model of African development, with advances in education, healthcare, and infrastructure. However, his policies also faced criticism, particularly for their impact on the country's economy and for their emphasis on rural development at the expense of urban growth. Despite these criticisms, Nyerere remained a beloved and respected figure in Tanzania and throughout the African continent. He retired from politics in 1985 and spent his later years as an advocate for peace, social justice, and environmental sustainability. Nyerere passed away on October 14, 1999, at the age of 77. His death was mourned by people around the world, who recognized his immense contributions to the struggle for African independence and the development of Tanzania as a sovereign nation. As a historian, I find Nyerere's life and legacy to be both inspiring and complex, a reminder that even the greatest leaders are not without their flaws and contradictions. His vision of African socialism and ujamaa continue to inspire people to this day, and his commitment to social justice and community development remain as relevant now as they were during his lifetime. Education is not a way to escape poverty, it is a way of fighting it. This quote by Nyerere highlights his belief that education is a key tool for social and economic development. He believed that education could empower individuals and communities to create better lives for themselves and contribute to the development of their country. We cannot build our own future without helping others to build theirs. Nyerere believed in the importance of solidarity and cooperation among nations and peoples. He recognized that the development of Tanzania was intertwined with the development of other African countries and the global community as a whole. Democracy is not a bottle of Coca-Cola which you can import. Democracy should develop according to that particular country. This quote reflects Nyerere's belief in the importance of tailoring political systems and structures to the specific needs and cultural contexts of individual countries. He believed that democracy could not simply be imposed from outside, but had to be developed from within. Unity will not make us rich, but it can make it difficult for Africa and the African peoples to be disregarded and humiliated. Nyerere was a strong advocate for Pan-Africanism and believed that African unity was essential for the continent's political and economic empowerment. He believed that only through solidarity could African nations overcome the legacy of colonialism and exploitation. The leadership of Tanzania, and I personally, have decided that we cannot afford to have a country where the majority of citizens are illiterate. This quote reflects Nyerere's commitment to education as a fundamental human right and a key tool for development. He recognized that illiteracy and lack of access to education were major barriers to economic and social progress, and he made it a priority to expand access to education for all Tanzanians. We appreciate your support in watching our videos. If you enjoy learning about political, business, writer and science leaders' biographies and quotes, please consider subscribing to our channel and giving us a thumbs up to help us grow and continue bringing you valuable content.